Ouch! That's okay. Ow! I jammed my finger. Woo, that hot. That willy hot. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me today. We have, I believe, a 2012 Chevrolet. Nope, it's the GMC Sierra option. It is a 2013 GMC Sierra 1500. It has the check engine light that comes on and then goes off. Let's turn that off. And customer wants it fixed. Let's plug this thing in and see what we got. We do have a check engine light on. We also have 208,038 miles on the odometer. So let's plug this thing in. Let's get to figuring out what's going on here. Contact. Okay, we've done a code scan. We see that we have two codes in here. P015B, and it's an HO2 sensor, delayed response lean to rich, bank 1, sensor 1. Current DTC, warning light is requested with this one. We also have the evap vent system performance. Let's see. Let's pull this thing up. Let's go back into data, live data for the engine, data display, and let's look at our where do I want to go here? Sensor data, I think. HO2S. 4 graphs. Let's do that. Bank 1, sensor 1. Stuck to lean. These two should be fairly close to each other because we don't have, you know, both sides of the engine should run fairly similar. Let's go ahead and check our evap data as well. It is venting. Let's go ahead and let's just see. Okay, let's just see here. Evap, there we go. Alright, let's see if our vent solenoid will close. It is venting at this point, so let's see if we can close it. It's not venting. We're starting to pull a vacuum on the fuel tank. It would appear as if the vent was working at this point. Let's see what the purge solenoid does. Okay, we're definitely pulling a vacuum on the fuel tank. So this may be a problem that is very intermittent on the evap, and it could be a problem with the fuel cap or anywhere that's created a leak in the evap system. Evap, basically the system will test itself, and if it sees that there's a substantial drop in pressure, or sees a certain amount of pressure drop after it seals off the system, it will throw a code. Now that could be because you have a leak in the fuel cap or anywhere in the fuel tank. Obviously it creates a leak and it drops the pressure too much, so, or vacuum too quickly. I know how the system works. It's harder for me to explain, but Watch Wes Work really has a very nice breakdown of how that system works. He has a drawing, really does a good job of explaining how that system works. So I'll try to link his video in the description below, and you can go watch that. And also, he's very entertaining, so he's a good person to watch, so go watch him, and you can see how that system works and explain it a lot better than I can. So let's go back here. I believe we're going to be finding that we're going to need to bank 1, sensor 1 will probably have to be replaced. Now the other thing we want to look for is see if, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it is switching, but it's improperly switching. Okay, let's look at our fuel trim data and just see if that side is off by any chance. Long-term fuel trim, bank 1 is at 4. Bank 1 here is definitely adding a little fuel, and it's stuck lean, so that would definitely make a difference, or make a difference. I can't speak today. It's lunchtime and I'm hungry, but I need to get this thing diagnosed before we go for lunch, because my deadline for the parts order is at 1:30, so I want to get this figured out before we go to lunch. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to order us a sensor for bank 1, and then we'll go test our purge valve, and let's check and see what our evap canister vent valve looks like. Make sure neither one of those are leaking. I don't think they are, because usually if the purge valve is leaking, you'll have a problem where after you fill it up with fuel, it will not start. So because if that valve is open, all your vapors flood the engine, and then you have a hard time starting it after you set at the pump for a while, after you shut it off at the pump. Dude, I literally cannot talk. So let's get this thing pulled into the lift here, just in case we got to go up with it. And let's see, my smoke machine is broke, so I can't use my smoke machine to check for leaks, so we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. And let's just check our purge valve first, because that's easy to check. We'll pop this off of here. Okay, got interrupted with the cell phone. I thought it was maybe Nashville calling me and asked me to come down there and sing for them, but it wasn't. All right, let's get I've got our purge valve unhooked there. We're gonna make sure that that purge valve is working properly, which it probably is. It should be closed right now, but it probably is. Yeah, I put my finger on the end there, and it definitely is. Okay, so that's not leaking. Usually when that one goes bad, it'll throw a code for a large leak detected. Oh, we don't see that. Let's look at our, or don't have that. Oh. Looking for damage to the, ooh. Had a little damage. Yep, right there. Okay, we've got damage to our seal. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yep, right there. A little cut in our fuel cap. All right, well, we're gonna get a new fuel cap. Put a new fuel cap on there. And we gotta go with that until we figure out if we've got anything else going on, because we do know our canister valve is working, because it will pull down a vacuum. So we got to replace that thing's bad. So get a new fuel cap ordered and get ourselves an oxygen sensor ordered, OEM by the way, not the universal style. I shook a little bit saying that. I hate those things. So let's get that ordered, and when that comes here, I'll bring you guys back. We'll get that changed out, make sure that we can clear our codes and everything's working properly. And I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'll be back shortly. Don't you guys go anywhere. We've got a new sensor. It's going to be the OEM sensor, assembled in the USA from foreign components, probably from China. 234-4668, and it is a Denso. It's going to be the original equipment manufacturer, the actual OEM. So let's get this thing out of here and let's see if we can get it replaced. It's really not that hard. These are pretty easy to get to. Also, these things are not that expensive, so that's why we didn't do a whole lot of testing before we just replaced it. So let's go ahead, and it's on the driver's side. Let's go ahead and get up in here, and this is going to be this sensor right here, be the upstream sensor. And as you can see, the plug-in is up here, up on the side of the transmission. You got to pull the little locking tab and then pull that. Okay, I'm gonna have to get you guys resituated here because I'm gonna have to have both hands. Okay, so up here, this is up right on the side of the transmission. You're gonna see that thing. We're gonna have to try to do this like such. Bend that back just a hair. Come on, there we go. Now let's get something to pry that thing loose from there, and then a 7/8 socket. We'll get it broke loose from the, or socket wrench, get it broke loose from the exhaust. Okay, let's get this thing popped off of here. Please come loose. They're both plastic, so it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the sitter. One's rubber, one's plastic, but it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get it off of there. Ouch! That's okay. Ow! I jammed my finger. Woo, that hot. That willy hot. Okay, Holly. All right, now, if we're fortunate, this thing will just come right out of here. If we're not, it won't. So let's just see which straw we drew today. Came loose. Hallelujah. Okay. Should be loose enough to unthread from the hole here. Maybe, if I can reach it. I don't want to pull that drive shaft out of there. Please. It's out of there. Make sure that surface is clean. Now let's get our new sensor. The new sensor already has anti-seize on it, so this is good. Now let's slide this in here, and let's see if we can get this thing started threading in there. Come on, would you please go? Thing of it is, it wouldn't take much to pull this drive shaft out of here, or at least loosen it and move it over, but I don't really want to do that, so I'm gonna work in misery for a little bit because my hand is hurting. Ow! My bones in my hand were rubbing together, creating a painful situation, but we got it. Okay. That's should be torqued to the proper spec. Yep, right there, perfect. Okay, now let's bring this up here. How about if we were to plug this in before we even put it up on there? Let's make sure there's no corrosion there first. That looks good. Guess we should have probably checked that before we replace the sensor, but you know, doesn't very often get corroded. So now you just slide this into there, like those things ever come apart anyways, but you know, gotta do overkill on some things, which whatever. Let's make sure that that wire is not rubbed through up there. Nope. All right, slide that back on there. This is good, clean, nice. All right, now I'm gonna change the oil and filter while we got it up in the air, grease it, and then I'll bring you guys back when I hook back up to the scan tool and we figure out if we fix the problem. The oil is changed, the fluids are topped off, the brakes are good. What else did we do? Oh, oil filter's changed, it's greased. We're going to replace this bad fuel cap with another fuel cap. Unfortunately, this one's also aftermarket. It's the only one I could get a hold of today. He wants the truck back today, so let's do that. That should take care of that, I believe, because it's not a large leak, and if it would have detected a large leak, it would have thrown a code for a large leak. So let's get in this truck, hook back up to the scan tool, and see what we get. All right, I backed it up a little bit out of the lift. Let's come back here to engine data, and we're gonna, let's go back. Let's go ahead and clear our codes while we is at it. Continue. Hang on. Why are you? Okay. Codes are off. All right. Now let's come back here. Let's go into data display. Engine data, I believe. Bank 1 sensor 1. Bank 2 sensor 1. And they're copying each other. This is good. Yep, they very closely mirror each other. So if you look here, there's HO2, which is heated O2 sensor, bank 2 sensor 1, HO2S, bank 1 sensor 1, and they pretty well mimic each other. This is good. That means we have a confirmed fix there, and we'll go into, well, let's go into generic functions. Nope. Functional tests. We will go down here to output controls. There. It's been a day. I'm tired. So purge controls the purge solenoid and closes the vent solenoid. Seal commands the purge solenoid to 0% and keeps the vent solenoid closed. Alright, continue. Let's go ahead and seal this thing. Or that's not sealing it. We opened our purge valve a little too fast. Okay. Vacuum too strong in the evap system. Okay, well that means we don't have a very big leak, so let's just get out of here. Let's go in the codes menu, display codes, D2C display, no codes present. Perfect. All right, well, I believe this truck's good to go. Let's get out of here. Let's take this thing on a test drive and just make sure that nothing comes back. All right, let's back out of here and we'll take this thing down the road and just confirm our fix. So if we were to monitor our long-term fuel trims, what we had there was not bad, which was like 4 and 5%. That's not bad at all, but it is giving it a little bit more fuel. It's trying to overcome the lean condition that it was running in. So it wasn't terrible, but eventually this thing would have probably started to run bad and would have had drivability issues. This thing is known to do that. This has got the second engine in it. I think the first one barely lasted 100,000 miles, so yeah, not good, but just drives good. Doesn't feel like it's got 208,000 miles on it. This is good. It's got a little noisy tire on it, but he knows that. It's been that way for a little while now. And we'll turn this rig around. I think we've fixed what we came to fix. It's running up to temperature. All systems are a go. We know that our O2 sensor is operating as it should. So we're going to turn this rig around and head back to the shop. There's really no need to make a longer, more drawn out video or longer, more drawn out test drive. So it's idling smooth, oil pressure's good, we're good to go. We're gonna send this thing, well, we're gonna send it back to the customer. Look at that skyline. Illinois, not known for its good political environment, but it sure is gorgeous out here. So you guys all have a great day, great evening. This is the weekend. This is Friday afternoon, Friday evening at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to go back to the shop, finish a few things up, clean my shop up. I'll probably be back in the morning, and I'm going to try and get my shop cleaned out. I'm hoping to get a truck running tomorrow. So that truck on the lift, if you've seen it in the background, that thing's been there for way too long. So yes, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it as always. I want to thank you, and thank you for subscribing to the channel, those of you that did. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Doesn't cost you guys anything. Sure helps me out a bunch. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Until the next time, you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate y'all.